Hey VC, it's Jonathan, your cheap and cheerful record collector. I don't know if you've listened to my videos in the past. You know, I used to have a booth at an antique mall here in Maine, and I would buy collections of records. I would keep what I like and sell the rest. That's actually how I built most of my collection. Really, it hasn't cost me anything at all because I was selling and buying. But about 2 years ago, I closed the booth. I had some medical stuff. I couldn't deal with it. Anyway, I handed out a bunch of cards when I had the booth. About a month ago, I get a phone call from a guy who said that he got one of my cards and he had a collection to sell. Would I be interested? And even though I'm not buying and selling anymore, I said, sure, I have to see what's going on. How can you say no? It took a month to get to see this guy's collection. It was always like, when can I come see him? He goes, anytime next week. I said, how about Tuesday? Tuesday's no good. How about Friday? I can't do Friday. And he kept pushing it off. Finally, last week, I got to his house and I went to his basement where all the records were. And they were sort of stacked up in standing up straight, so they weren't lying flat. They weren't in water or anything. And it looked like he hadn't looked at them or anything in decades. He was moving, a little younger than I am, probably in his late 60s. And he was moving and he had to get rid of them. So I did a quick look through the records, some decent titles, and they looked to be in from miserable condition to things still sealed. So, and there were about, from a quick look, I said between 400 and 500 albums. So I said, all right, well, what do you want for everything? He goes, well, you make me an offer. I have no idea what they're worth. I just said, if you're not going to give me a price, I said, does $200 take everything? He goes, absolutely, great. He was very happy with $200. So it turns out there were 500 records. So I paid about 40 cents a record, which is not bad. And when I got them home, I started going through them and I'm finding things that I didn't see in my first quick look through. So I just thought I'd share with you some of the gems. Again, it's 500 records. I'm obviously not going through 500 records in the video, but I'll show you some of the gems I picked up. How about Guns N' Roses? Appetite for Destruction. Not an original pressing, but an early pressing with the original inner sleeve that came with it in pretty good condition. Not something I would normally go out and buy, but again, for 40 cents, it's hard to say no. So yeah, Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. This one I hadn't seen in a long time. Pink Floyd. This is their a momentary lapse of reason, I'm sorry. Probably all know this album better than I. I'm not a big Pink Floyd fan, but still in nice condition. A couple Steely Dan albums he had. I know either love them or hate them. I really enjoy them. This is The Royal Scam. And this was, again, with the original inner sleeve. And this, I think, is the bullet. Yeah, the yellow bullet label. In nice condition. Not perfect, but really playable. I'm not going to show all the labels because I got so much to show. I'll be here all day. So, yeah. The Royal Scam. Asia. Gatefold. Countdown to Ecstasy. That's the Steely Dan albums. How about Tom Petty? Damn the Torpedoes. Again, with the original inner sleeve. Pretty cool. Springsteen. The Boss. Tunnel of Love. The Boss. Nebraska. Again, with the original inner sleeve. REM. Document. I mean, I was freaking out when I'm going through this collection. I just couldn't believe all the stuff I was getting. And he was happy. He was very happy with the price. He was like, I don't think he expected that at all. Here's a cool one. This is a German pressing of the Zombies. And this is She's Not There. I'll show you this label because it's a little different than we see here in the States usually. On Decca. So that's pretty cool. German pressing on that. I actually have a UK pressing on this also. And it has She's Not There. Indication, The Way I Feel Inside. Whenever you're ready, Leave Me Be. Tell Her No. Woman. Remember You. What More Can I Do? Etc. Great album. Nice German pressing on that. Grateful Dead. Anthem of the Sun. Again, not an original because it's not. This is the Palm Tree label, but still hard to say no at that price. Jerry Garcia, Old and In the Way. We all know this album with David Grisman, Peter Rowan, John Kahn, and Vassar Clements. What a great, great album. This one they just re-released. Talking Heads, Stop Making Sense. I hear the movie has just been re-released and it's supposed to be amazing. I'd like to see it again. How about the Rolling Stones? Tattoo You. Original inner sleeve. Rolling Stones, Some Girls. Not the original, but it's the Pardon Our Appearance on cover under construction release. This one I have, but I don't have this pressing of it. Donald Fagen Nightfly. This is the promo Quiet X2 limited edition pressing. Supposed to sound amazing. So I'm going to have to do an A-B on my regular copy and the Quiet X one. But yeah, Donald Fagen. How about an older record? Something you don't see that much. Ultimate Spinach. Behold and See. Gilded Lamp of the Cosmos. Visions of Your Reality. Jazz Thing. Mind Flowers. Ooh. Great album. Really enjoyed the hell out of that one. How about Still in the Shrink? A newer pressing, Bob Dylan, Freewheelin'. Yeah, stereo. I think it's an 80s pressing. I assume it's probably digital sourced. It doesn't say anything about original master tape. King Crimson. And somebody wrote in the eyeball, LSD. Ooh, King Crimson. Accord of the Crimson King. A later really clean pressing of The Last Waltz with the booklet and all three records in there. And the booklet. A later pressing, but still nice to have a nice clean one. And then a couple of really amazing records, which I couldn't believe they were sitting in there. Tom Waits' Swordfish Trombone. Not that expensive, not that hard to find, but still nice to have another copy. And this one is the one that's really hard to find and quite expensive. I mean, for me, it's like $40, $50 record. It's $60 record. Tom Waits, Rain Dogs. Original pressing with the lyric sheet. One of my favorite records by Tom. It's on the back of the gold stamp promo, but nothing on the label itself. The label is a regular label, but it does say on the back has the gold stamp, which is sort of hard to see, but yeah, the gold stamp promo label. And how about a 5 LP box set of Jethro Tull? First record is the Radio Archives. Second record is the Rare Tracks, Released But Only Just. Record 3 is Flawed Gems. Record 4 is The Other Side of Toll. And record 5 is The Essential Toll. So 5 LP set. Came with the original booklet with pictures and stories. Ian Anderson, Jethro Tull. All the inner sleeves look the same. I show you a quick one. They all have that same logo on the front. And the back just tells you about the songs themselves. All right. How about some blues? If you know me, you know I'm a blues hound. So when I saw these, I got very excited. This is a nice compilation of the great John Lee Hooker called Whiskey and Women on Trip Records. 2-record set, Whiskey and Women. And this has old time, I mean, a lot of Whiskey and Women process. I'm in the Mood, Boogie Children, Trouble Blues, Drugstore Woman, Boom Boom, Dimples, Dusty Road, Crawling King Snake, Frisco Blues, etc. Really happy that it was there. And then one of my main men who I'm always looking for records by him, I always grab anything I see, Magic Sam. And this is the complete series, Blues Masters Volume 3. And this was all recorded in 1957, 58, and 1957 and 58. So real early Magic Sam. Everything's going to be all right. Look what you're doing. All my whole life. Love Me With a Feeling. Roll Your Moneymaker. Magic Rocker. 21 Days in Jail. All night long. The great Magic Sam. And while we're talking about Magic Sam, he also had Magic Sam Live. This is recorded, I should have looked this up first. Original location recording, Ann Arbor, Michigan. Doesn't have a date, 81, I think. No, he's gone by 69. But I should have looked that up. But anyway, Magic Sam. I'm sorry. First one is one record is at the Alex Club, and one record is at the 69 Ann Arbor Blues Festival. The great late Magic Sam. So that was part of the deal. This one I had, but this one a little different. This is the Rolling Stones Exile on Main Street gatefold instead of the trifold. And when I looked this up, I can't remember the date, but it said it was mastered differently than the original one, which I have. So I got to listen to both of them and see which one I like better. But yeah, fantastic record, but a different mastering. So that'd be interesting to see. Also, there's another of my favorites, another Tom Waits, and this is Nighthawks at the Diner. I have this. This was really my first album by Tom Waits I ever heard. But what's nice about this, it is a white label promo. So you don't see many white label promos, especially of Tom Waits stuff. So I was really glad to grab that. And that's going to be added to the collection. These all need to be cleaned up before I spin them. But yeah, there's the promo label. Great Tom Waits. Little REM. Life's Rich Pageant. Again with the original inner sleeve, not in perfect condition, but you still got it. So I'm looking forward to, these all got to be cleaned up before I spin them, so I'm really looking forward to spending some time, giving them a good cleaning before I give them a spin on the turntable. This one has been re-released recently. Originally came with a different cover, and when I first saw it, I didn't know what it was until I looked at it a little closer. And this is Nuggets, original artifacts from the first psychedelic era, 65 to 68, with a totally different cover than the one they re-released recently. But it's the same record. So, again, looking forward to cleaning that up and giving it a spin. The Electric Prunes, doing I Had Too Much to Dream last night. The Standells, Dirty Water. The Strangeloves, Nighttime. The Vagrants, Respect. Pushing Too Hard by the Seeds, Liar Liar, The Castaways, 13th Floor Elevator, You're Gonna Miss Me. So yeah, a later pressing of Nuggets, but really glad to have that. This one was one of the few Beatles albums I was missing, and I was really glad to find one that is still in the shrink, and it's the Beatles' second album. And this is a later pressing, but it's the Capitol Maroon label, which I know they say is supposed to be one of the better later pressings. So that's really cool to have a really clean copy of Beatles' second album. One of the only ones I'm missing from their early days, so glad to add that to the collection. Next guy, this one is the guy, whenever you see his records, are always beat to hell. So I was really glad to see, even though it's a Rhino pressing, which is fine, because they always do a nice job. And it's James Brown. And this is James Brown's greatest hits, including Out of Sight, Papa Got a Brand New Bag, I Got You, I Feel Good, Cold Sweat, Can't Stand, It's a Man's World, I'll Go Crazy, Try Me, I Got That Feeling, and Please, Please, Please. James Brown on the Rhino label. Next to Ridiculous. This is a later pressing. I don't have the date on it, but it's still before UPC codes. So I got to assume it's before 82, is it? The first Bob Dylan album. Still sealed, never opened. Nice to have a really super clean copy of that. So I'm assuming that since it doesn't have a UPC, it's got to be before a certain date, and it's probably from the master tapes, not from digital. So that's really cool find. And another one sealed. And this band I love, and every time you see the records, they're always beat to hell. So it's really nice to find one sealed. And it's Canned Heat. This is their album Boogie with Canned Heat. This again is a later press. It does have a UPC code on it, but it's still sealed. And I assume because it's later pressing, it is from a digital source. But so nice to have a nice, clean, fresh copy of this album. Whenever you see Canned Heat's album, they're always beat to hell. We didn't take good care of our records back in the day. This one I never saw before, so I was really excited about this. This is a UK pressing of The Kinks, and it's called The Greatest Hits Dead End Street. And besides all the regular hits, You've Really Got Me, All Day and All the Night, Dead End Street, Sunny Afternoon, Victoria, Ape Man, Lola, Waterloo Sunset, etc. It also contains, which I guess they only did this originally, and then they got in trouble, and the next pressings doesn't have this, and it's a 10-inch promo copy they added onto it as an included. This 10-inch has three songs on one side: Groovy Movies, Time Will Tell, and Rosemary's Rose, and on the other side it has Misty Water, Pictures in the Sand, and Spotty Grotty Anna. So I guess these were unreleased at the time, and the Kinks got upset that they added it without their knowledge, I guess. So when they re-released this, this was not included. So that's very cool. Big Kinks fan. So I have most of this stuff, but it's nice to have it all on one record there. Here's a band I've been looking to get. I have one of their albums, and this one is still in the shrink, and it's War's Greatest Hits. With a hype sticker, includes the hit single Summer, and for the great price of $3.33. War. With the original inner sleeve. Pretty cool. A couple more. Dire Straits. This is their album Love Over Gold, which I don't have, but I do now. And another Mark Knopfler. This is a 12-inch single. 12-inch 45, Going Home, the theme from Local Hero. Bada bing, bada boom. This one, for some reason, I don't have any albums by them, so I'm really glad to add this. There's tape on it, not in great condition, but still cool to have. Spooky Tooth. Spooky 2. And bear with me one quick second, I gotta grab something. And the last thing I'll show you, these are all albums by one guy who I'm a big fan of. I have most of these, but the first one I didn't have. And this is Rory Gallagher. The Story So Far, which is obviously a compilation. Tattoo. Even though I have a copy of me giving this to Brian from Shamrock and Records. He was, when I told him about what I got, he said, oh, I'd love to have those couple of those Rory Gallaghers. I said, yeah, you got it. Tattoo. Rory Gallagher Live. Rory Gallagher Blueprint. And finally, the Rory Gallagher Take It Easy Baby. So these are just some of the highlights from those 500 records I got at my at the last week. I'm still in shock going over everything I picked up, especially for the price I got it at. I've cleaned some. I got a lot more cleaning to do. It just goes to show you that there's still deals to be had out there. You don't have to spend $20, $30, $40, $60 a record. The only thing I was disappointed in that there was no jazz. I'm a big jazz hound, so I was sort of hoping he'd have some cool jazz there, but not to be. Mostly classic rock and a couple of blues thrown in. So yeah, that's the my latest collection that I just picked up. Hope you enjoyed watching what I have. If you do, give me that thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I would appreciate that. I hope everybody's doing well out there. Summer is just about over. We're up here in Maine, so we're having a hurricane coming on Saturday, but not so much. It's going to glancing below. They expect like 40-mile-an-hour winds and some rain, so it'll be fine. I hope everybody's doing well. Hey, listen, until next time, keep digging, and peace.